various checkpoints to protect civilians and prevent any possible terrorist attacks. We have more on the heightened state of alert in this report by the CFI.
There were last instructions before the police set out to patrol Bamako. The police chief told his men they must be polite and organized on their rounds. The team set up a checkpoint on one of the 3 bridges linking the banks of the river Niger. The police carried out searches of all cars and motorcycles. Many people on the roads had praise for the police operation.
This is totally normal. It's for the security of the people that they are doing this.
This is crap. They cannot possibly check all the vehicles in Bamako. They should not do this on the bridge.
The security patrols are not only looking for objects in car boots that are suspect. Drivers and passengers are also undergoing identity checks, and the police are checking driver's licenses. Those without the right papers are given fines. And then beyond the ID checks on people and the searching of vehicles, the police units from the 15 stations in Bamako are also patrolling neighborhoods.
The message we want to pass on to the people is that these operations are being carried out to protect them. The goal of all this is to prevent terrorist activity in Bamako.
The stepping up of security measures in Bamako came after widely circulated news of the probability of a terrorist attack in the Malian capital. The information was judged credible by the United Nations Mission for Stability in Mali. That confirmation provoked major trauma among the people of Bamako.
Police in South Africa have fired tear gas on activists of the African National Congress who intended to disrupt protests by supporters of the country's main opposition party. And a plane crash in eastern Algeria has killed at least 77 people, including the flight crew and 4 women. The lone survivor is being treated for serious head injuries. For more on these stories and others, we go with this roundup of news.
77 people have died in a plane crash in eastern Algeria. The flight crew and 4 women were among the victims. The Hercules C-130, operated by the military, crashed as it flew over Mount Fortas. The plane was transporting soldiers and their families from Tamanrasset to Constantine when it ran into bad weather. One survivor was discovered by rescue workers among the wreckage. He was taken to hospital for cranial injuries. Police in South Africa fired tear gas at activists in the African National Congress who attempted to disrupt a protest by the country's main opposition party. Police were sent in to prevent clashes between the ANC and the Democratic Alliance, whose candidates are running in the general elections on May 7th. Thousands of supporters of the Democratic Alliance took part in the demonstration, which was called to protest the country's rising unemployment. Ethiopia has called for the withdrawal of foreign troops from South Sudan. On Monday, the Ethiopian government warned that the conflict risks spilling over into neighboring countries. The Prime Minister was referring to Ugandan troops, who have been deployed to aid President Salva Kiir. South Sudan has been the scene of violent clashes since December 15th between South Sudanese forces and rebels supporting former Vice President Riek Machar. A ceremony was held in the Congolese capital on Tuesday to mark the 25th anniversary of the Brazzaville Protocol. In 1988, Cuba, Angola and South Africa arrived in Brazzaville to negotiate the withdrawal of Cuban troops from Angola and South African troops from Namibia, the latter which paved the way to Namibian independence.
Nearly 3 years after U.S. Navy SEALs killed Osama bin Laden, new allegations have surfaced over a possible cover-up involving some photographs. CNN's Brian Thorpe takes a look at the sensitive email sent by the commander of the team raid.
Charged days after the killing of Osama bin Laden, news consumers searched for any morsel of information about the raid. The Obama administration faced intense pressure to release photos of bin Laden after he was shot and killed by Navy SEALs. The Associated Press and the conservative group Judicial Watch filed requests for those photos, and Judicial Watch filed a lawsuit. What happened under all that pressure? Just hours after that lawsuit was filed, the commander of the SEAL operation, Admiral William McRaven, sent this email. Gentlemen, all photos should have been turned over to the CIA. If you still have them, destroy them immediately or get them to the blank, whoever that was, still classified.
If these records were indeed destroyed, there may have been crimes committed.
Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch believes it shows a cover-up, the possible suppression of key documents from maybe the most famous raid in military history.
There's laws that prohibit the mutilation and destruction of government records. It shows contempt for the law, and it shows contempt for the people's right to know.
The Pentagon wouldn't comment on those assertions or the McRaven email. A spokesman for Admiral McRaven wouldn't comment, nor would the CIA or the White House. But in the days after the bin Laden raid, President Obama told CBS's 60 Minutes why he believed the photos of a deceased bin Laden should not be made public.
It is important for us to make sure that very graphic photos of somebody who was shot in the head are not floating around as an incitement to additional violence.
It's not clear whether any photos of bin Laden were actually destroyed. Could any of the SEALs depicted in the movie Zero Dark 30 have taken personal photos? CNN military analyst General James Spider Marks says it's likely they were ordered not to by their commanders.
It wouldn't be surprising if they shook them down and they said, okay, I want to make sure you don't have something that's hidden away someplace. I don't think you'll do this, but look, folks, I want to make sure that you stay away. I want to keep you honest. I want to keep you out of trouble.
But Mark says the SEALs would have designated some member of the team to take official photos and video for posterity and training purposes. Brian Todd, CNN, Washington.
It's now time to go on our second break.
Breaking news under the chief patronage of His Excellency, the Professor Dr. Alhaji Yahya AJJ Jammeh. Gamtel Gamsel Staff Association is back again. New Year's with a different new style in the building. The grand launching of Papa Chon, the long-awaited album Agogo, is live in the Gambia. Friday the 21st of February 2014. Gala dinner with difference at Penchami Hall, Paradise Suite Hotel. John Balagosek, the now rising star Wali Balagosek, Jeliba Kwati and the Kumare Band. Gala dinner, platinum tables 60,000, diamond 50,000, gold tables 40,000, individuals 1,500. Saturday, 22nd February, mega show live at the Independence Stadium, first of its kind in the Gambia. Mr. Kolo Kolo Kolo, Mr. Choco Choco Baby, Mr. Sekam Sekam, Naubi Dada, Flavor out of Nigeria for the first time, touching down the Gambia. Get ready for this big event. Artists in the building, Jalex, Mighty Joe, Balaransa, Humanity Stars, Nuva, T-Smallsa, MLK, Broke. Tickets, $300 is flat, VIP, $700 is Sunday, 23rd February 2014, Kids Carnival at Benjamin Hall, Paradise Suite Hotel. It's just $300 is flat. Proudly sponsored by two telecommunication giants. Gamtel, 11 years on the road.
And before we take leave of you, a quick reminder of the day's top stories. Honorable Balagaba Jahumpa has embarked on another site visit, this time the over $400 million road project linking Brikama, Dasilame and Dimbaye. Reasons that warranted the Gambia's withdrawal from the Commonwealth took center stage at an orientation forum held in the capital city. Dozens of Algerian military personnel and their families have perished in an air accident said to be the worst in Algeria's history. And there are reports of a possible cover-up involving photographs almost 3 years after U.S. Navy SEALs killed Osama bin Laden in Pakistan. That was all in this edition of the News at 8. Thanks for the pleasure of your company. Do stay with GRTS.